Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah, and here on my channel I post lifestyle and university related content. If you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell to all so you don't miss a video. Today we're joined by Daniel, who also happens to be my boyfriend, and as you can see from the title, we're going to talk about our roommate experiences. So we studied abroad together at the same university, blah blah blah, and if you see my study abroad video, you will know I had a roommate situation. Anyway, I had a situation, he had some situations, so we thought, hey, let's talk about it. Yeah, I think that's a quick rundown. So basically, I lived in a flat with 4 other girls, and I shared a room, and I had one roommate for the first semester, which is the one we're going to be talking about, and I had another roommate for the second semester, but she was cool, so we're not going to talk about her. What's your situation?
And I lived with 5 different guys with one roommate at first, and then halfway through the first semester, because of some issues, I ended up moving to a different place where I had 4 different housemates, and I had one roommate there.
Yeah, struggles. Okay, so we'll get into why he moved at that point, and we'll get into why I had a new roommate slowly. But who wants to start? Because I feel like I have it worse.
I'll let you start.
Okay. Everything seemed to be fine until I arrived. Okay, so the only thing we had in common was the fact that we both did sports. So I suppose you'd think that's a good common ground. No, just because we like the same thing doesn't mean we're going to get along. But yeah, so that happened, and the first case of how I knew this was going to be going downhill was it wasn't even a month into me being in America with the whole room situation, and I overhear her saying to one of the flatmates, "Oh, I'm used to being friends with my roommate." Excuse me? Sorry, okay, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of the people that, like, I want everyone to like me because I really don't give a crap. But, like, like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? We're too grown for that. But, like, what wound me up is that, what did I do? Like, I didn't do anything. And I'm pretty sure I told you when she said that, I was like, I didn't do anything. I come in the room, I'm nice to you. I'm, like, keeping it polite and all that, because we have to live together. And instantly I hear you, I'm used to being friends with him. You didn't even try to be my friend.
I just remember you at the beginning, like, straight away saying, like, I'm not keen on her.
I don't like you. The good thing is, like, don't get me wrong, before that point in time, I didn't have an issue with her. You brought the issue. And now I have an issue. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, you started it. And, like, I'm going to finish it. So, you know what I mean? It was just kind of that situation. Like, what was your first instant where you knew you weren't getting along?
I feel like the first instant, like, it wasn't an instant red flag, but the fact that he had never made a bed before. Before, like, coming to uni. Like, I think I was, on my whole floor, in my first, like, accommodation room, other than the RAs, I was the only person who wasn't a freshman. Everyone in my flat was 18 or below. And I was just like,
Yeah, nah, I don't like living with people who are younger than me.
He just didn't know how to make a bed.
Yeah, that's a bit...
And I was just like, okay, I can deal with that. If he tries, whatever, you know? As long as I don't live with a slob.
Yeah, no one wants to live with a slob, but, like, just not knowing how to make a bed, that's like when people go to uni and then don't know how to cook a meal. And they're just so dependent on meal planning and stuff, you know what I mean?
So with my first roommate, it was... I don't know why he done this. So I bought I like cups of tea. You know, I'm English, I like tea.
Oh my god. The comments for this.
So I bought, one of the first things I got in America was a kettle. You know, living to the stereotype. But I told everyone, you know, if you want to use the kettle, you want to make tea, use it for like noodles, whatever, you know, whatever. So we didn't have a proper kitchen. We had more of a a mini kitchen.
Oh, like a kitchenette?
Yeah, so like fridge, freezer, had my kettle in there, microwave, but no like oven or whatever.
Yeah.
So for some reason, my roommate, my first one, he didn't really know how to cook. Like, he had the meal plan and whatever, but in terms of actual cooking, he would never really cook. Except, do you know like the ready-to-eat noodles where you just pour the boiling water in it and you're good to go? For some reason, rather than bringing the noodles to our little kitchenette and cooking them in there, he would bring the kettle into the bathroom. Like, one thing about American bathrooms is you typically have like a plug in there. For, like, you know, when you're shaving or whatever. He'd bring my kettle into the bathroom and make the noodles in there.
Yeah, that's not very sanitary, to be honest.
He'd just casually be like, "Oh, can I use your kettle?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And they just bring it into the bathroom with I'm thinking, why?
Yeah, you can't eat from everybody.
Why bring it in there? I don't want to make cups of tea now that my kettle's been in the bathroom with him.
Yeah, it's a bit...
So,
Was he filling it up with the water from the bathroom?
I can't remember.
Because I'm thinking...
Because I used to buy bottles of water and then pour it into that.
like sterilise kind of... Yeah, fair enough.
But, yeah, I can't remember. He might have.
Yeah, because I think that might be the only reasonable reason why I can think someone would bring a kettle into the bathroom.
But, like, why plug it in the bathroom?
Yeah, that's a little bit sus, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. See, I'm glad with my roommate, she was many things, but I didn't have any food issues with her.
Yeah.
So that's like the perk on that side. I didn't have any issues when it came to food. I just had issues in other ways, like a lack of manners type issues. Like, I feel like, you know, when you're living with someone, you get along with them, you don't get along with them. I think it's just always important to be like polite and just cordial and all that, like just on a level where you're not creating a hostile environment. And I don't think she really cared whether it was a hostile environment or not. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's just like being polite.
Yeah, just be like, hi, or what's it called? You know, just small talk. Basically, small talk, but I don't really care how your day went, but I'm just going to have a small talk just to keep it, you know, on a level where it's not like...
awkward.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not like you're just staring at each other. But, yeah, so I'll come in the room and be like, hey, you know, like, you know, hi, how's your day, whatever. And keep it polite because I'm like, you're just staring at me. I'd rather say something, like, you know me, I don't like silence.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why are you just looking at me? I'd say that says nothing, absolutely nothing. But the only time you want to speak is when we share the class and you'd want to ask, oh, I missed the class. Do you know what the assignment is? Like, I don't like when people do that. I'm like, it's rude. Yeah. It's just rude. There's no other way to explain it. It's rude.
So, like, I was kind of the opposite. Like, me and my first... Well, I got along with both roommates. But my first roommate, we got along quite well.
Mm.
But he was a bit over-friendly with certain things. So, like, he used to use a dab pen. If you don't know what a dab pen is, like, it's like...
insert a picture or anything, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's sort of like you get high off it. It's like smoking weed, but like a vape, sort of, yeah. But he would use that a lot, and he would always invite people in.
Oh, God.
And, like, I don't... but, sorry about that. I'm trying to watch my words. But but what he would do is like he'd bring him in and then take like one hit, and then they'd be on the floor, and like, you know, I'd just be sitting there chilling, and then I'd have like 2 or 3 people on the floor next to me just laughing at like
their head off because they passed out. Yeah, no.
And I was just like, oh, and then like I'd go out into my like communal living area, and you just see someone who's in my room like 10 minutes earlier pass out on the couch.
That's weird.
And they'd sleep there all night. And I'm just like, okay.
Just climbing over people. Oh my God. No, I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that. Anytime my roommate brought anyone round, at first she started asking, the only time she brought people round was like her boyfriend, and that wasn't too much of an issue apart from the fact that they snore, like, not like your normal level of snoring where you're like, okay, cool, I can just sleep. Like, no, it's not the second roommate snoring. The second semester boyfriend one, also cool, the snoring was worse, but the situation with that one was they were polite.
Yeah.
So even though like the snoring got to me, I couldn't be mad because I'm like, they're actually polite people.
Yeah, she was nice.
You know, lovely person. Also cool, that's a different situation. But with the first one now, when that boyfriend was snoring, I'd be like, we have a class in the morning. Did you have anything like that?
Kind of. So like, it's sort of like a common courtesy, you know, like if I'm quiet at night, you be quiet at night.
Yeah.
Like, it's different, you know, like early night, I guess, you know, like 10, 11, 12, whatever. But like, you know, later on in the night, 2, 3, you know, you're expected to kind of like be quieter.
Yeah.
So like, say on Sundays, I'd go drinking every Sunday. So I'd go to some bar and whatever. And I'd come in 2, 3, and I would like, you know, sneak in, brush my teeth, whatever, then go to bed, be quiet. But like with my roommate, like, he didn't really go out drinking because, you know, he's underage.
Yeah.
But he was addicted to Fortnite. It's like a Xbox game, PlayStation game, whatever. And like, I've never had a problem with Fortnite, you know, like my little cousin plays all the time, whatever. But oh my God, the theme song, like I can still picture it in my mind now. Like 2, 3 in the morning, you know, playing that like max volume on his TV, he bought some like 50-inch TV. Because TVs for some reason like dirt cheap over there.
I know.
But oh my God, it was so loud. He would do it every night near enough. And then like, you know, he'd be on mic or whatever, he'd be shouting his head off. Like, oh. And also, let me get onto this.
Oh god.
So, like, I don't know what it is about, like, some Americans. Maybe because we're in the South.
Maybe.
Like, I'm not sure, or maybe just like it's a sort of younger thing. But like, in my whole, I guess, like flat, one of my housemates was black.
Mm.
So my roommate had to watch his language because he tended to say the N-word a lot, and he would say it a lot.
Yeah.
So whenever my housemate was in, you know, if he's playing, like, say, Call of Duty or whatever, and he dies, you're like, oh, that effing N-word, and it's like, why? And like sometimes when, you know, my housemate would be in, he'd be like, oh man, if I could say the N-word right now, I would, but I live with a black person. It's like
honestly,
why?
I don't even know if that's a thing in the South or in general, but like I feel like in comparison to over here in England, we people use the word, but like I think people, especially for me, because I'm black, people assume that I'm comfortable with it. So like when I was in America and someone, you know, instead of, you know, over here some people be like, oh, my sister, my brother, or whatever, over there they'd use that as like the term.
Feel like it's a lot more common over there.
Yeah, and for me that makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't care if you're black, you know, as well, like don't use the term, I don't appreciate it. And I'm kind of just like, anything you're saying to me, it kind of drops the value of whatever the point you're trying to get across to me, because I'm like, there's a time and a place to use certain language, and I don't appreciate it being directed at me, whether it's on a friendly manner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those things I'm like, yeah, no. So that roommate, I'm glad they weren't my roommate, because I would not be putting up with that, to be honest. But like, that music thing is really annoying, because that's the same thing with my roommate, where I'd be on phone calls, obviously to phone family back in the UK or whatever, and my roommate would come in, see I'm on the phone, and decide to, you know, play music out loud. And to the point, family on the other end's like, what's wrong with her? Like, wagwan. Like, and I'm just like, I don't know, because last time I checked, I was on the phone, you know, kind of thing. Hint, hint, turn it down. But no, never turned it down. And I was a bit just like, really? And the thing is, part of me wanted to do the same to her, but I'm just not raised like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that because it's rude. There's like a line, you know what I mean? Like, my point is that I get you don't like me, but you don't have to be disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Like have a little bit of like, you know, mutual respect.
Literally.
That's
what I was asking for.
Yeah.
A little bit of respect, but like, no. No respect came with it, and they're talking of no respect. Okay, so, as you mentioned, you like to be quiet in your room. Me, what's it called? In America, personally, if I wasn't hanging out with like friends, I had nothing to do. Whereas in America, I kind of felt like I get more to do here, personally.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's not like a lot to do, in my opinion, where we were. But, so I'd be in my room working, because we got a lot more work, as you'll see in that other previous video, we got a lot of work compared to here. So I'd be in the room doing the work, and what I had to like tend to do, so I didn't have to hear the rest of the flat, I'd pull the door in, not lock it, just pull it in ever so slightly, so I could just focus on my work, because there's no need for the door to be wide open for everyone to see me sitting on the bed working, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was this one time where this roommate, like my roommate, she came in with her boyfriend. She thought I locked the door, and I hear her, like, is it, oh my god, she tested my patience that day. So I'm sitting on the bed, all I hear her come in like, to her boyfriend, pass me the keys, because that bitch keeps locking the door. Oh, okay. Only, this is the awkward bit, yeah? So she opens the door, and obviously I'm looking her dead in her face, like, you know, where the angel on you's like, just sit there, it will all be fine. And the devil's on you like, jump off this bed, jump off the bed and tear it up. I'm just like, are you serious? And the thing what wound me up is that she came in, stared me dead in my face like I didn't hear her, and didn't even apologise. In that moment, if the shoe was on the other foot, whether I think she's a bitch or not, I would have been so apologetic.
I don't know how you didn't.
I wanted to fly off the bed.
I don't have
like,
a clue.
Honestly, my gut was like, don't take that, do not take that. But then like the other side of me was like, this is America and black, I'm gonna work in healthcare, and you've seen the way police brutality goes on over there, and I do not want to be a case. So I was just like, and you know when you could tell some of the type of person where they got like a family or lawyers, ain't worth it, really wasn't worth it. But I was kind of just like, can you not have a certain level of respect?
Yeah. You
know what I mean? To at least apologize because I heard you. But no, just looked at me and kept walking out. And I'm thinking, anyway. It was really rude, in my opinion. Yeah, that situation. Yeah, no, this is why I don't like roommates.
See, I was quite lucky in that like respect. That, like, even though the whole, say, like, Fortnite thing and whatever, you know, like, at least like we got on quite well, you know, like me and my first roommate, my second roommate, we were cool the whole time. It is a bit funny.
Yeah.
But we were cool the whole time. But the first one, you know, like we'd go out, go Chick-fil-A, chill, whatever. Sort of talking about Chick-fil-A, sorry, this just came into my mind. So, actually this goes on to like why I switched, like,
flats. Oh, yeah.
But, this sort of goes on to the whole, like, you know, first time leaving home, you know, first time making bed. He was so unclean. Like, we had this issue, like, I think I showed you him. Like, I would get, like, bites on my legs and arms and stuff. And I wasn't sure what it was. I called, like, pest control and whatever, in case it's, like, bed bugs or something like that. They didn't know what it was. And it wasn't until a little bit later where I started finding, like, ants. So, you know, like, I fully cleaned all my sides of the bed. And bear in mind, we're on, like, the top floor of this building. I don't know how ants got up there. But ants somehow got up there.
Yeah, no.
And I wasn't sure why our room was, like, covered in ants. So, you know, I, like, cleaned all my side of beds and whatever, side of room, whatever. Cleaned all the bathroom.
Yeah.
Still getting bit. I was like, what?
So,
I asked my roommate, like, oh, can I, like, look at your side of the bed, see if there's any ants down there? He wouldn't let me. You know, like, I wasn't sure at first, but I, like, waited for him to eventually leave the room. Yeah. Looked outside the bed. There was, like, old Chick-fil-A food, like, Subway, like, it's everywhere, all down the side of these beds. Like, these, I don't know what they're called. They're, like, the little fish, cheesy
Oh, the goldfish.
Yeah, the goldfish or whatever. They're all down the side of his bed, there are ants everywhere. Oh, and, like, the bit that really forced me to change room was, like, so I used to have, like, really early Spanish class. Like, it started at 7. So, you know, I got up, went in the toilet, like, the light was still off because it was, like, really early morning, you know. Like, I sit down, gonna do my business, you know, as you do. I felt something on my leg. Like, I didn't know what it was, so, like, I, like, kicked my leg and whatever. I, like, quickly turned the light on. So, there's a cockroach. There's a cockroach in there. I was like,
that's disgusting.
The cockroach was on my leg. I was in the middle of my morning business. And, like, I don't like bugs, you know. I don't like spiders, don't like things that fly. I don't like anything, you know. Like, if any of my family members are watching this, you know, they know I scream like a girl and when I see something coming at me. But the fact there's a cockroach on my leg first thing in the morning.
Oh my god.
And, like, I call pest control, whatever, and they're like, oh, you know, we figured out where it comes from. There's a hole in the bottom of the toilet where it crawled out of. And I was just like, no, I ain't dealing with this. I'm moving rooms, like, straight away. And I was expecting, like, I tried to move to where you were living. Yeah. And that was full. I was like, oh, you could have maybe waited until, like, after the next semester. Yeah. But they're like, oh, we've got this place in this other building, you can move there. I was like, you know what, I'm taking it. And after I spoke to pest control later on, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll fix it. I'll go in the room, like, a little bit later on to pick some of my last stuff up. The hole was still in the toilet. There's still dirt all over the room and whatever. I was like, oh, no, I can't deal with that anymore. God, no. Like, there's one thing about that. If you ever go to America, like, the cockroaches are horrible.
They're big!
And they fly!
You know Harry Potter, is it Quidditch? Or something like that? Yeah, the snitch. Yeah, when the thing was flying, I remember I was walking down like King Street or something, and one flew at me, I was like, what is that? I swear, it looked like the thing out of Harry Potter. I was just like, that was a cockroach.
No, I didn't know they could fly at first, and you might have been there. We were walking down the street, and I guess I can name him Paul. He just stomped his, like, we saw a cockroach, and I didn't know he could fly. Paul, like, stomped his foot, and it flew. I was like, oh.
Is that the one that hit someone when it flew?
It was near the gym, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
gross.
That's the first time I ever saw him fly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm not.
I ain't
not
no.
And the wasps, talking of flying things, the wasps were big.
They had legs!
Yeah. I mean, of course they had legs, but they were like...
Anyway, back to the roommate situation. We'll be here talking about the bugs and all that all day long. I swear the last straw definitely had to be the fact that she decided to have sex in the shared bathroom. Okay. Did not appreciate that. Like, I honestly, it's the most annoying thing. So basically, you know how I said before that I like to sit in the room, pull the door in, and just work on my bed. It was one of those days I had the headphones in, I was working on the bed, I was like, let me do some work. She walks in with her boyfriend and goes to the bathroom. Don't get me wrong, most people may think, how did you not know? Bruv, okay, it was late, and there had been times before where they've gone into the bathroom to brush their teeth, and I've heard them brush their teeth. No issue with it. What's it called? I don't think anything twice of it. So, let me just give you the layout of this bedroom, okay? So, her bed's here, mine is here, literally right at the head of her bed, and then the bathroom's here. Anything that goes on in the bathroom, I can hear, I can feel, I can see, basically. So,
definitely here.
I definitely feel like, so I was on the bed working. She walks in with a boyfriend. They look at me, go into the bathroom. Cool, I think nothing of it. Get back to the work. Then the bed starts shaking. So I'm here thinking, what's happening? Like, I'm so confused. Not like none of that, like, nothing drastic like that, but like noticeable shaking that I'm like, why is my bed shaking? So I pulled the earphone, but I don't know what it is when you feel something, but you decide to stop all your other senses for a second. You're like, it's like you think you smell something, you're like, hold on, 1 minute, turn the music down. Like, it was actually one of those situations where I was like, hold on, I feel something. Let me turn the music down, put air up, like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, what's it called? So, bruh, I take the headphone back, and what do I hear? I hear a moan. And I would show, I would give you an example, but this is not that kind of channel. So, you want that kind of content, you're not on the right side. Anyway. But I hear a moan, and I was like, no way. No. I know she don't like you and she's disrespectful, but she's in this disrespect. Oh, she is. Okay. So I hear that. And then I hear, I'm listening again. I hear some cheeks getting clapped. That's the politest way I can put it. All I hear is moan. Like, and I'm like, you cannot be for real right now. Like, oh my God. So inside, even though I was enraged, I was very polite with it. I climbed off the bed, I didn't even put my shoes on in the room. I picked my shoes up, walked out the flat, went to my friend's flat, wrote her a long text. Honestly, I was very proud of myself, the fact that I didn't swear in that long text.
I can't believe how polite you were.
Like,
I remember you messaging me when that happened, and you're like cussing, saying like, oh, how the whatever.
Yeah, all over the voice notes, just cussing.
And then, you sent a really nice... Well, not, obviously,
it
wasn't like nice oh, yeah.
I hope you enjoyed. Next time, let me know and I'll throw in a contrary condom, Like,
maybe a goodie bag on top.
A little bit. Like, no, but like...
But like, still, you were, like, I'm proud of how polite you were, But,
I was honestly proud of myself of how polite I was as well, because she was pushing it. They were pushing it. And the way I saw it, though, is like, it's not only disrespectful for me, but I'm kind of like, do you have any self-respect? And does he respect you? What annoyed me was the response I got back. So I basically said in the message I sent was, even though I had headphones on, these are not soundproof headphones. I said, what's it called? I know what's happening. Clean up the bathroom because we share the bathroom. Like, if it wasn't a shared bathroom, I really wouldn't care. Like, I'd be like, do your thing, but at the same time, let me know when to leave. I don't want to sit there. What is this?
If you're getting your business on, just be like, oh, like, can you leave the room for a bit, I'm going over with so-and-so.
Yeah, like, I'm not like a child. It's not like I'm not going to know what you mean, where you're like, oh, could you give us some space? I'm be like, You see, I understand it's probably tricky because you're sharing a room. But at the same time, I'm like, you have to respect that you're sharing a room and you're sharing a bathroom. I don't know what surface you did that on. I don't be standing in the bath sleeping on your man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't be in the bar. I don't know where you use the toilet or the sink. Like, it was honestly the last straw for me. So the next day, I literally got up, went straight to the housing association, and I swear this housing association, they knew my name. Like, they'd see me and they'd be like, Mariah, and I'm like, yeah, move me. Like, literally, I'm like, hi, how's your day? My day is good. Move me or move her. Someone's gonna move. Because, like, it was the worst, honestly. And, like, what happened in the end as to why I got a new roommate was that I put in to move, and I was gonna end up moving to the building that Daniel moved into, but, like, I didn't want to have to move all my stuff because I wouldn't be able to move my stuff until after Christmas, which is a bit awkward for me because obviously being an international student, that means I'm either in a situation where if I can't find a place to keep the stuff there while I'm, going back home for Christmas, I'd have to fly it back to the UK. I'm not paying for extra package, extra baggage and all that because she decides she wants to, sowl up my sink. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I have to pay for that. And then what happened in the end is that I found out that she actually put in for a move as well. And then when I found out she put in for a move, I was like, why am I moving? Let her drag her stuff out. End of the day, I think that was a win for me personally. Because
it was definitely a win.
Definitely. Because I was like, I'm not going to back down and let you get your way because you're trying to push me out. You gonna move. And so she moved in the end, but that was my roommate situation. And yeah.
Oh, actually, talking about, like, while we're on the topic of this.
Oh my God.
So, my second roommate, like, if he's watching this, like, you know, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was
I
lovely,
liked
yeah.
him a lot. I really liked him a lot. But partway through the second semester, I think it's more towards the beginning, kind of. But like, he got a girlfriend and whatever, and she just stays sometimes. You know, I don't care about that. It's what it is, whatever. But there's two things. So the first time, I came back. It wasn't that late, but I came back and, you know, like, I walked into the room, whatever. He's like on top of her, and then like suddenly, you know, like before I even like say anything or even have time to like walk back out, you know, he climbs off. Is like he
Pretends
just
to
he's just
sleep.
like as if he's asleep. And like I saw everything.
I remember when you said that, I was like,
Cause
no
it was
way.
him of all people. I
No
was like,
way. Yeah, I was shook.
I'm just happy I didn't see like the dark side of the moon in my face. You know, like I am.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for that.
You're lucky you missed that, but like.
Yeah, but there's this second time. So like, you know, once you stay over, don't share a bed or whatever.
God.
So usually I'd sleep like facing towards the wall because I don't know what it was. It's like more like my fan was on, you know. Like,
Yeah,
I'm sleep away from
yeah.
my fan, whatever. But like, you know, they sometimes I make out or whatever. You know, whatever. It's not the end of the world. I don't care about that as long as other things aren't going in other things. You know, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like, they were loud. Like, really, really loud. Like, imagine eating. What's a sweet that like sounds like it?
Oh, you know, like, what's the thing? Not strepsil. You know, one of the things you suck on when you got a cold. Like a strep. I think it's called a strepsil or something like
But
that.
it's like a, you know, yeah, that's what it is. All I hear was that. And, you know, like, I'm laying there, hearing them, you know, eat each other's face in my ear, whatever.
Oh my God.
But like, all of a sudden, I hear like they stop. And he's like, oh, sorry. Did I kiss you too fast? I was like, oh my.
Oh my
Like,
God.
but I don't know why. Because like, I thought that was so funny. I was laying in my bed crying.
You just lying the tears, God.
Like, I'm sure he heard me because I was like, sort of laying there. I was like, after that, I think it must have killed the mood because they don't really kiss anymore after that.
Yeah,
But
that
I
probably
just,
did kill. That would kill any mood. To
That
be
was just
fair,
so funny.
I'd be crying. Like, you know me, anything that makes me laugh, I end up crying. But like,
But yeah, like everyone else in that flat, like, you know, everyone was fine for the most part. One of my housemates, I had some issues with him. Because I was white, I feel like I was fine. But like say one time, I was really, really ill. On a side note, it really does my head in that you need a passport, not a passport, like ID, to buy medicine in the US. Like not like, you know, stuff that's been prescribed to you, but just like standard cold and flu medicine. You know, like when we were in America, I had quite a long beard, so that I did not look 18. You know, for the most part. Sometimes I'd get ID'd in like bars and like alcohol shops. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, you know, I'd like be fine for the most part. But no, I go in there like I'm dying. I look like death. You know, I'm sweating. My voice is like this. My eyes are like watering, crying, whatever. And they're like, oh no, you need ID. Come back with ID. So you know, I go back and like, come on now, it's just ridiculous. But anyway, you ran into me that day.
yeah,
And you said that I sounded like
a black guy on the radio because
Yeah.
his voice was like, "Oh, you're welcome to FM to channel, and we got the smooth jazz." Like,
Yeah. But no, like, you know, I got my stuff after seeing Mariah, and I went back, was laying in bed, whatever, and the guy, I don't want to name names and whatever, but he came in, was like asking how I was and whatever. I was like, oh yeah, like I feel really bad, feel horrible, you know, whatever. I was like, oh yeah, I ran into one of my friends, and she's like, oh, I sound like a black guy on the radio. He's like, oh, you know, you should say the N-word if you sound like a black guy. I was like,
yeah, no,
like, what? Like,
no,
what? It's like, yeah, it's a Friday. I'm thinking, like, is this some kind of like national holiday to say the N-word or something?
Oh my
And
God.
it's like, it's Hard Out Friday. I was like, what's Hard Out Friday? He's like, oh yeah, you know, every Friday, you know, white people can say the N-word with a hard R on the end.
No.
I'm thinking, what
No.
what kind of place is this? I know we're in the South, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, Charleston's quite a like liberal place, and I'm thinking like,
Yeah, don't be pulling that.
what is that?
Mm.
Like, what? And he's like, yeah, you know, and then he's like, starts saying the N-word and whatever. I'm just thinking, like, what the hell? You
See,
know?
like, I wouldn't put up with that.
Like, what would he have done if, like, he, like, say you were over and he didn't hear you? He's like, oh, yeah, N-word. Like, I don't know. He definitely would have been the sort of person who's like, you know, walking down the street, I saw this N-word, like, saying from and then saw you and be like,
you know,
and like run away or be like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, literally.
Like at first, when I first moved in, you know, like here's the one where I sort of had like weird vibes from him, and obviously now I can tell, you know, he was just a massive racist. Oh, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, honestly, it is ridiculous. I feel like out of the two of us, I wouldn't want to be in your situation. I don't know whether mine's completely worse.
I'd say yours is worse, but if you were in my situation, because you're black,
yeah, it would.
You would have definitely like had a fight with him.
Yeah,
you know? Like,
for sure.
It's like the southern stereotype where they're a bit racist. You know, like.
We can do a whole video on that, but
maybe in the future.
Maybe, who knows? But that was our roommate experiences. Maybe, you know, comment down below whether you've had one that's worse or whether you think ours wasn't even that bad. But
there are some more stories that we can maybe get into in the future.
Maybe. But, everyone all that too. But yeah, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, give a thumbs up. Like I said, comment down below, subscribe, turn the notification bell to all so you don't miss a video, and I'll catch you guys next week in the next video.
Bye guys.
Bye.